Hey Camille, what's up? How's it going?
I'm fine, and you? How are you
Good.
doing? Yes. Hi guys! Aujourd'hui, je vais parler en anglais. Today I'm going to talk in English, at least for my audience and for your audience, Paolo, because we are with an international speaker. I'm super, super glad to have you here because we're going to talk about different topics regarding public speaking, communication, AI, trends, and I'm super glad. Do you want to add something, Paolo, on this, like, I don't know, like teasing, you know?
Yeah, I'm actually super excited as well. Actually, nice to meet you all, and thanks Camille to inviting me. I actually met Camille more than 1 year, actually 1 year ago, around 1 year ago, in Canary Islands, and we find out that we have a lot of common topics, such as like we really think that intuition is what leads and drives people into entrepreneurship and change, and also like we love public speaking, business coaching, as well as traveling and learning a lot of stuff. So I'm really excited to talk with you. And actually, we didn't prepare anything. So as well, we will talk about intuition. It's going everything to be as it takes. And actually, my slogan is improvise only when you are organized, because life is what happens when you are making other plans. So.
I love it. I love this sentence. I think I like this punchline. I'm going to use it for my content too. That's
Good. I'm
perfect.
happy about
That's
it.
perfect. Okay.
Great.
So let's dive into the first topic. So, okay, maybe your audience know you, but not you so much, not so much, and me neither. So I think we could talk about like just present in few words, like who you are, what you do, what's your uniqueness, I will say, and me, I'm going to talk as well about mine. So I'll let you start to change.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, I'm Paolo Camille. I come from Italy, but I have been like living around all over the world, as actually Camille does. I have been doing entrepreneurship and startups since 6 years ago, where I started my first ventures, and actually I did a lot of failing. And like in those situations is where I actually learned the most. And actually also because I think that a success lasts in half day, but a failure lasts for the rest of your life. And I'm specialized in communication and public speaking, but actually like I had a lot of experience as CEO also for deep tech company, and I have been working a lot for like creating ventures with ESG impact. I'm making like my first exit right now, and I'm also doing some investments. So this is kind of my brief presentation. And this is me. I actually passed from being like expert in communication to kind of become really interested about everything. And so I'm more like technical right now because I studied a lot of about AI, data science, and also sustainability. And this is kind of also what leads me to understand things, which for me is my uniqueness is that I really love to understand how everything works, which is my kind of empathetic way to be for things and for people. And I think that to be entrepreneurship, to understand business, you have first to understand people. And yeah, this is actually what I think is my uniqueness, and what I would like also to share in all of this conversation that we will have.
Yeah, that's that actually I like it because you have like we call it in French multipotentiel, so multi-potential, that you really dive into different topics, and this is what I really like about you. We can talk about many topics, and you are really curious to know different things. So to introduce like shortly myself, so maybe someone saw me on a video, others on masterclass, others they don't really know me. So my name is Camille. I'm someone like really, we call it joyful person. So I really like to give joy to people. I really like to help people to feel better in their life. The thing is, I come from like a career of marketing, a marketer, because I really love psychology, like brain psychology, like how the human works inside himself. I remember when I was like 7 years old, I was already like looking for, magazines of psychology about stuff. I really love this stuff. this topic. This led me into a career in business school. I worked in different companies, especially in luxury. So I really love luxury goods. Like I really like originality, creativity, stuff like that. So this is an example. I really like this stuff and really like to create, let's say, souvenirs and also like, you know, like really create an experience. I really like experiences in luxury industry. And the thing is that I got into self-development, I got into coaching because on 2019, I got like a kind of a hard year. You know, this type of year where you have like so many things that happen at the same time and you ask yourself, why is this happening? Why have all these troubles at the same time? And actually, I really got understand after, because I got my mom who was sick, I got my father who had like really troubles with his company. I was as a position of marketing like leader of a company of cosmetics, and at this time I had different troubles to dive in. And I remember I got into like a meditation program. Maybe you know, it's like the program MBTA. It's like a, you know, John Kabat-Zinn is like one of the founder of the meditation, like you know, it's a consciousness meditation, something like that. And I got into this program of 8 weeks doing like 2-3 hours of meditation. And after this program, I remember I connected the dots, you know, about my life, about what was my purpose in life. Because before I didn't know, I was going into marketing, I was traveling, I was doing really good jobs in good companies, but I was not really, okay, what's my purpose in life? And in 2019, I really got the pieces in the puzzle, you know, assembled. And after I really started a career as a business coach, help people to develop businesses. But more than a business, it's like a life mission you have, and you want to make it concrete and really to live it, to really enjoy it, and to impact people and to elevate consciousness about other people. So yeah, right now it's been 3 years I have my company, and I'm working in different, like as you, in different topics, like CEO, coaching, marketing, mentors, and I have different clients in the world, especially in French industry of coaching, also in other companies. And right now, I'm really glad to do this kind of interview because it's for me a way to elevate people's mindsets, to talk about different stuff and to open consciousness. Because I think the first thing to elevate yourself is to think differently. And in order to think differently, you need to really, you know, like have different opinions about different stuff. And then from that, you can create new things, you can impact people, you can. So that's why, yeah, we are doing this today. So anyways, let's talk about the first topic. Yeah, you want to talk about something? Tell me.
Yeah, actually, like I don't know, like I know that we have to follow your structure, but I think that your presentation gave me something that if you want, we can start with, or maybe it's already there, which is the how it's hard to find your pattern and your vision, and also from the other side, also how to accept that in a certain period of your life, you won't follow a specific vision, because maybe it's just that you want to be everywhere to understand and face a lot of different topics, sectors, and values. So like, I don't know if it's already on your structure, but maybe it's a great topic.
Actually, it's a real topic, because purpose in life, I think it's what distinguish a person who is like going really further, really you know, growing fast with his company, a team, etc. Like I remember in 2020 when I got clear on my vision, my purpose, after we got like, we call it in French tapis rouge. So it means we had everything that was aligned. So I was going super fast, and in 2 years I reached 1 million euros. And after I was expanding new markets, I did my first launch of different conferences, and that's why I met you last year in conferences I was doing, and you were assisting this conference. This was funny, in Canary Islands. So yeah, I'm really clear. How did you find your purpose in life, and who is your purpose in life actually? What is your purpose in life? This would be nice.
I actually find myself really lucky because I know what I want to do in the next 10 years, which is mainly going into the education field. And right now, let's say that I have a vision and I'm building my mission. So I'm building how to get there. So this is why I'm doing, like, let's say, the multi-potential person, as you called it, because right now I want to test to understand kind of everything, because I think that before teaching, you have to test yourself, empathize with the hard skill and the soft skill, with the people, with the sector, and with the industries. And this is what I'm doing. So this is actually like my purpose, because right now in Italy, I think that there is a huge gap into education. I don't know how it works in French, which is a question that I will ask you later. But it's really too much theoretical, and people are too much scared about failure, are too much scared about actually taking risks. And this is a thing that I cannot accept because I love risks. I think that if you, I feel alive, right? If I take a risk. Maybe it's not for everybody, and I accept this, but I think that a person has to be conscious that risk doesn't mean like ruining anything. That like this is kind of my purpose and my vision, and also like this is why I'm right now kind of trying to understand as much as I can, because as you, I really love like people mind, how to like because I think that it's the hardest thing in the world, because like machines at the end are rational, so you know how they will work even if it's hard. But people, that's like totally irrational. And even explaining something, like you have, even if you know a topic, you have always to explain it in a different way compared to the person that you have in front. And I think that this is like a thing that I would like to understand better, and I'm trying to. And yeah, this is my purpose. What about you? And what about French education?
Yeah, okay. There are different topics. So the first one about, so to explain just shortly, my mission right now is to help entrepreneurs to really elevate themselves. So this is a yin energy, and the yang energy is like to scale their business. And for me, the business is like the first part of different fields of life that you will expand, because when you work on the human itself, entrepreneur is like before everything is a human. So when you work on the well-being, then you work on everything in his life surrounding, so relationships, money, business, and stuff like that. So my concept and my uniqueness to explain is like really be an expert in yin yang energies, and to assemble both parts, which is the intuitive part, which is more yin, and the pragmatic part, which is more yang, and to elevate both of them, so then the entrepreneur himself scale himself, and then the business. So this is the first thing. The second thing is about, you told me about my mission. So this is actually my mission. You know, I help people to really, we call it in French, saut quantique. It means you are here, but actually your potential is unlimited. And me, what I love about my job is like I open up the potential of the person and I make it real, because I thought that, you know, in the yin yang concept, the thing I learned, because it's from the Chinese culture, it's Occidental culture, they think that it's feminine and masculine, but this is way more than this. Actually, it is way deeper than this. If we really explain the concept deeply, the yin yang energy, what is that? Is the movement, it's a balance, you know. For example, the moon has different, you know, moves. So it means from one time on the year, you have the move that is full, another time is like half and stuff like that, and it moves. And what I'm talking about this right now, and what's the relationship between this and the entrepreneurship, is that the entrepreneur has different moves of energies. And depending on who he is right now, he needs to balance these two energies to really scale and to increase like, for example, to give you a concrete example, I had a customer, she's like running a million business right now per year. She's making like 6 million per year. She has a team of 25 people. And she got into consulting with me. Yeah, thank you. And she increased by like 300,000 K with me in a few months. So she reached like 6 million. And we help her to balance these two energies. So the leadership stuff, which is more yin than yang, to be honest, when you have at a certain level of business, because why? You do less, but what you do is aligned. And if it's aligned and it's you do less, then you scale way more. And people sometimes they have limited beliefs because they think they need to do more, but actually they need to do less. When you create a business, you are more on a young energy because you need to go, you need to do things, you need to let's go, let's dive in. But when you are at this point where you need to recruit people, manage people, being a leadership position, then you need to do less. You need to let other people do the things. And you are the one that is leading and giving the direction. And this is more for me, the yin energy. But most of the time, we don't really learn this because as you said, at the education, especially in France, I don't know in Italy, but in France, we learned intellectual part, which is more young energy. It's like structure, method, do that, 1, 2, 3, 4. But when you have a business, when you have a team, it's not 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going there, like people, they could be you crazy. And if you want to make a process, but the human itself, yes, we can make a process of a brain, but still some things we don't know. Some things we need to react in the right moment with the right people and feel it. And it's funny because I talk about this topic with a guy in Dubai, which her name is Alec Henry. I think he will maybe watch this interview. So hi. And it was interesting, his idea point of view, because he said, well, everything comes from more or less pragmatic stuff. Even if you are intuitive, you have different patterns because you lived experiences. And with these experiences makes you your intuitive part. And which is not so, wrong of that. But I think it's a mix because I don't know how we call it, but I call it quantic world, kind of. That's why we have this background. When we feel something, it's not just about what we live right now. It's also about what we feel. And what we feel, we don't really learn in education what we feel. We don't talk about emotions. We don't talk about how do you feel today? They are more like, I'm fine. Most of the people in France, they say, I'm fine. But we don't really go deep inside this. But this is wrong because if you don't go deep into these things and emotions, then you miss one part of the human, which is the biggest part. Because how the human works is you think things, you feel things, and after, depending on this, you make actions, and after decision, and after you scale or you decrease. So what do you think about that?
I totally agree with you. And actually, I love quotes. So right now, when you were talking, I thought about a quote, which is, if you want to scale, breathe. Because actually, when you do startups, when you do entrepreneurship, you only think about running in front of you without actually stopping and think about where you are or watching behind you, right? And I cannot agree more because this is kind of also a bias that I also always have, and I know it. So I ask to my colleagues, to my shareholders, please, when you see that we have to make strong decision, hard decision, stop me. Let's take let's say a period of thinking and brainstorming, and let's understand how to solve all the problems. Because in my unfortunately, I am that person that wants just to run whenever I am. But luckily I understood this. So I ask help to other people, which I think is the only one solution also to scale. And actually also what I love about your uniqueness, what you do, is that you can actually work in the coach way, understanding yin and yang, because you know the business thing. So you can actually understand the overall vision. And this is really great because I think that the coaching side is still undervalued in Europe. I can talk about Italy is totally undervalued, but I see that all over the world, even in America, people have a huge ego and don't want to ask for help. But actually, if you can breathe when you're scaling, you will get success, and you won't burn your people that are close to you, that you have trust with, which is really important. So right now I'm trying to each 30 days doing, let's say, this brainstorming session with all the company that I have, understanding all the problems that we faced in the last 30 days, understanding why we faced them, and trying to, in the next 30 days, face or test new solution.
Yeah.
So I really think that this is a topic. And yeah, I totally agree with what you said.
Like, you know, so the yin yang energies is like also related to concrete things, and in communication, like you got into public speaking, now you are doing like different conferences all over the world. Maybe I don't know, my audience at least want to know, how did you get into public speaking, and how your story helped you to become public speaker?
That's funny. I actually kind of got there because let's say that when I was young, I have always been like a networker. Since I was 14 years old, I was already like doing my first entrepreneurial experiences, which were based kind of in public relations. But I was kind of really shy to face public speaking. And right now, today, I'm still kind of scared. Every day that I have to go on a stage, I'm really scared about fail. And I will think everything that can happen, like, can I fall down in the meanwhile that I'm walking on the stage? And this is kind of funny. But how did I start? I kind of got there. So it was that kind of situation where I created like my first venture, like, and I was supposed to pitch in front of investors, actually also in English, which is not my mother language. And I didn't know that well English, and I was that confident to say, yes, I can for sure like do public speaking in English. At the time, I was confident. I got into investors in a small room with 10 people, which were listening to me, and I was like watching them, and I was like, wow, they are listening, and I got scared, and I was like, I did like turn off everything in my mind, and I was like shutting, like I was shut it up. And then I started talking, and it went really bad, actually. Like, yeah, my first public speaking experience, actually, I was 19 years old. And I understood actually that I was not good in public speaking. I was not good in English. And I was not like, I should have prepared like myself really, really more for like getting into that kind of experience. And this is what I did. Like for 3 days, I was like, wow, I'm not going to do it again. But like after 2 days, I was like, yes, now I have to face it. It's just a thing of like practice it. I don't think it's a thing that you cannot learn. I think that public speaking, you don't like born as a public speaker, you become a public speaker. It's like what you say, you have to elevate your potential, because actually it's a matter of trying, testing, understanding. And then maybe you will understand that you don't like it, but you can do it, right? This is I like the thing of public speaking. And I registered myself in a lot of, let's say, event to do public speaking in front of hundreds or thousands of people. And I was like just putting myself in the, like out of my comfort zone in difficult situation to test me again and again, practicing a lot and working a lot in studying and prepare myself in front of the mirror when I was sick. And actually, I figured out after a year that I was like really able also to improvise, not just to talk, because at the beginning, public speaking is kind of repeating what you studied, right? Because you're not that confident. But then, like at a certain point, when you understand that people are connected with you, you like do you say like in your mind, let's leave my intuition free. Let's be creative. Let's talk with them. It's not just a monologue. It has to be like an interpersonal conversation, right? Even if it's public speaking. Also because I think that people feel your emotions when you're in like in the on the stage, kind of 50x on when we are in a normal conversation, and that was incredible. And like whenever right now I went to do public speaking to like to the university. Right now, sometimes I do teach at the universities, also public speaking. And then like they invited me at United Nations in New York, which for me was kind of wow, right? Kind of like I couldn't imagine this. And this was just because I get until the confidence to leave myself free to talk and say what I was thinking. So I just like follow the intuition right now, like what I want to share. It's just let's leave it free. So I think this is kind of the secret. Of course, you have to prepare yourself, and I will turn back to my coach. Improvise only when you are organized, because if you have a clear plan in your mind, a clear topic that you want to discuss about, then you are not scared to say other little things which are related, because like your confidence is there, so you can live your intuition.
It's funny. It's funny because if you related that to the yin yang concept, actually it's funny because you are more doing like yang yin concept. It's like you prepare the things, you structure, you process, and after you have done that, you let yourself be creative.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm adding, if it's okay, to challenge you on this. Is it okay to challenge you on this? Yeah, it's fine.
Of
Okay,
course, I don't like challenges.
Okay, that's perfect. Because actually, for me, there are different visions of this. Because
Okay.
I don't have the experience you have in public speaking, but I remember the first part. It's really funny. I got into the first public speaking I did. I made it was on 2018. I was in front of 80 investors and CEOs of big companies in cosmetics, and
Wow.
it was the first speech I ever made. It was in English. And you know what? And I had to sell a perfume brand that was completely revamping, super new. No one knew this brand. And it was an Italian brand that was revamping. So
Oh, really?
yeah, it's really funny. And I was like, why the CEO, she chose me to make this speech, you know? I was 26 years old. I didn't have any experience or whatever. I was just like, okay, let's do it, you know. And the thing is, I don't know. I remember the day I went to the stage, and at that moment, I don't know, something happened. I cannot call it. I felt it. I felt that I was at the right moment with the right people, just doing my mission. What I love to do is like really talk and connect with people. Of course, I had like kind of a brief of what I was doing. I repeat, yeah, true. I prepared, but I don't know, something get into my mind and on my soul, and I just connect with the person. And after I let completely what I have prepared, and I was just in the moment, connecting with the person. And I remember just after the pitch, the founder of the company, he came to me and he told me, okay, Camille, I think I'm going to promote you to the cell. Yeah, this was funny. I didn't even imagine, because for me, I was just doing, for me, it was a game. Actually, I was just playing, you know, I was not even doing something for a purpose. I was just having fun, you know, because I don't know what's your human design, but to me, it's like a manifestor generator. So I really like to talk with people and to be connected. So I did that. And after I got promotion and many people wanted to connect, I got people were crying. That's crazy, because they were investors, you know, and they were crying. They were like, oh my God, that's something I felt or whatever. And
Take
I don't
my
know.
money, please.
Yeah. And so why I'm talking about that? I'm talking about that because, to make it rational, I think actually it's a reverse, because when you really communicate with a person, I think firstly you need to have I don't know, like a specific connection, like you said, creative, really connect with a person. And from that, you got creativity. You got creativity to create something, a pitch that is not just whatever pitch. It's a pitch that will help people to elevate. Because what is a public speaker? I think a public speaker is someone that elevates minds, elevates souls, elevates, you know, there is something with elevate. You know, I remember the first TED Talk I watched when I was like 8-9 years old. I really loved this TED Talk, like who were talking about stories, about people. And I remember there is one speaker, I don't remember exactly her name, but I will think about it later. And this speaker, she really inspired me a lot. And she was a woman, and she said, the first thing you need to know is like really connect to the heart of the person. And the second thing is, yeah, you structure the things, because if you go everywhere, the people will not follow you. But I think it comes from your heart, like what is inside the yin. And after you get your message, it is, you structure what you want. But if you don't have the why, the big thing that say Simon Sinek, it's really difficult to make a pitch. And I saw so many entrepreneurs who want to make a message, an offer, and they just start by the structure. And I'm like, what is your soul? I don't vibe. I don't feel the energy behind it. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm actually like it happens to me too, actually being, let's say, company evaluator. So like, I do also listen at a lot of pitches. And what I really hate is when they just kind of try to be quantitative in the numbers. And yeah, maybe it can happen in, let's say, the tech thing, because you have in front like an engineer, which sometimes happens that like they are more like less skilled in communication and more in technical, which I can understand. But like when they try just to, let's say, follow the pitch without connecting or without actually like, it's your company. You have to share with me your like feelings.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, even if you, when you're saying 1,000,
Yeah.
1 billion euros is total addressable market, like feel it.
Yeah.
I want that number is yours, and you tell to me it as it is a story. So I totally agree with what you said. I'm really judgy in public speaking, and I really think actually that I think you kind of found 6 years ago your purpose in that stage, and that's really cool and exciting. I'm really like happy about your story, and I think that this is kind of what people want also to listen, people's story, because like company, yes, but at the end they are just company, and actually you sell something only if the people in front of you likes you.
Yeah.
They don't care about your idea. They don't care about how much revenues you are making. They want to trust you, then your brand and your product. But first is you. So like, first is intuition for sure.
Yeah. No, I'm totally agree. And it's funny because sometimes I see many entrepreneurs who have some difficulties to see the purpose, because, you know, until you really analyze it, you really you like take a couple of steps back, you don't really know what's your purpose. But I think what I'm going to say to people who don't really know, just feel, try to connect again with your emotions, because at the beginning of your childhood and stuff, you were a person, you were a kid having emotions. But I don't know why education made us, you know, split. You are,
Yeah.
you know, business. You are da 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 da. You're gonna make that. You're gonna have a good career. You're gonna be engineer. You know, I heard this stuff. My father wanted me to be a lawyer, and me, I was like, I don't want to be a lawyer. Okay, I like to defend people. I like to protect people, but I don't know. And I made like business school because people told me you're gonna find business. You're gonna find, you know, jobs and stuff. And I really like, and you know, I think everything happened for a reason, and it's like good. But on the other hand, I really love traveling. I really like to see people and stuff. And for me, I really totally agree with what you say. Is like the first thing you need to know, I think, is really to love what you do, to really, really love what you do. And when you love what you do, the people, they feel it, and they feel it so much that after they trust you, they are with you. Like I remember this really funny, because I had a little anecdote, a little story that happened to me this week. I had to choose one mentor, and you know me, yin yang stuff. So I had to, with this concept, I had to find a mentor that is balanced with that. And this is super hard because I see mentors in business that are like really pragmatic. I see mentors who are really into emotional and sometimes a bit too connected. You don't really see the concrete stuff. And I was like, my God, how am I going to find someone that helps me to grow even more? Because I think you can grow at least the level you are growing yourself. So you need to be also surrounded by people that help you to elevate. And I got into different interviews with different possible mentors. And I didn't find one who was balanced. I found, you know, someone like that, someone like that. And at the end, I said, okay, you know what? Let's solve the problem by taking one that is more pragmatic, one that is more connected, and I switch both. I match both, and I'm gonna make my little recipe, you know, on this. But I don't know what you're feeling about that, but it's funny. Like I see really two different worlds, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's both, you know.
Yeah.
You can do both.
Yeah, I feel you. Also because like turning back also to the terms multi-potential, is actually like kind of the bridge between like being vertical in something, or being too emotional or being too rational, right? And I think it's not that many people are like this right now in this world. And I think this this is kind of the people that I would like to be leaded from, right? Because rational thing has to be leaded also from emotions, because anything is rational in the real world, right? So like what I can say about it is that we have to accept that being multi-potential and having like more things that we love and we like is not a problem.
Yeah.
It's just the right way to that we should follow. And I don't think like right now for you that you're already like a strong bridge in the middle of rational and emotionals. I think that maybe makes sense what you did actually, like having one really strong in only one thing. But of course, like at the end, you will finish to kind of teach them how to bridge
Yeah.
the, and
Yeah,
then going to the other part.
yeah, and it's funny because like you know, you are one of the rare people that you have these two parts too. You are balanced. I felt it the first moment I met you because you had this, you know, like talking and not really like thinking too much or calculating, just being here, you know. And this is like, I call it more yin, but also the yang, because structure, let's organize, let's plan. And this is really rare. And I really want, I don't know, it's like a crazy idea, but I think about a new world, you know, of people who are balanced, so people who scale or don't have limits. And like to come back on the topic of communication stuff, you know, I had to choose different mentors this week. And it's funny because I had two propositions, and this is going to help our audience, I think, to choose and also to sell their products and services. I had two different propositions of a mentor who was like helping me to develop the department of selling, because right now it's my touch point, it's my pain point, like having a sales team that sells at my place. And so it's my challenge right now. And so I wanted to hire someone that helped me with that. And actually, I had three propositions. One proposition was from a guy who was like more like process, young energy, like let's dive in. I have thousands of sellers. I've been with Grant Cardone, you know, so it's like someone like really good in I don't know if you know Grant Cardone, but it's like really of course really famous in US, but also in the world. I had a second proposition with another person who was pretty pragmatic, Swiss, you know, culture, really like process and stuff. And the third one who was more into human stuff, emotions. He got into actually the sales development, the sales team of Jordan Belfort. He helped them to scale their business. He helped other teams. And at the end, I want to ask you a little question. What do you think I choose? Which one I choose, do you think, on these three people? And I'm going to explain you why after.
Okay, I see. So what you can choose is actually, is it process, the first one?
Like the first one is was more young energy, like more let's dive in, go, 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 go. I
Okay,
want people.
okay, this is already yours. So okay, I mean, makes sense. So the second was?
Second was more into process, like more Swiss, like stable, da 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 da. And the
Okay, the
third one
third?
was more into like
Into people.
yeah, into people, like focusing into people, into human beings, into elevating minds, and also like having pragmatic part, but a more like also
Yeah.
emotional.
Like I would say the third because it's more related to you, but I will go for the second.
That's funny. That's really funny. Actually, it's really funny because this shows what? This shows that we go into people that match our energy and who we are. And sometimes we don't really think about who we are. And so the communication really don't reflect who we are. And so after we are like a bit saying, oh, but why I don't attract the people? Why I don't get customers? Because I have many entrepreneurs that I coach right now
Yeah.
and consult with my team and who are like, I don't know how to get more customers. I don't know how to, da, da, da. Yeah, but who you are. What's your type of energy? Instead of what, who is matching with you? It's the same with relationships, actually, you know, soulmates and stuff. You won't match with everyone. You're going to match with someone that is meant to you, that is matching who you are. But if you don't know who you are, how are you going to attract the right person in your life in terms of business, in terms of relationships, etc.? No, you know?
Yeah, totally agree. Actually, so what did you choose at the end? Now I'm
Aha, I
curious.
chose the third one. I chose the third one. I chose the third one because
Yeah.
you know, I think when you choose someone to scale, to develop your businesses, and it's good also for your audiences, I think you need to know exactly where you go. Because if you don't know where you go, you're gonna probably miss something. And at the end, you're gonna choose the wrong stuff. Then you need to know like who is the best person to go there. But this person needs to be aligned with your missions, your vision, etc. And after, yeah, match and let's go, you know. So yeah, I think we don't question enough ourselves. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
We don't question enough ourselves about what we want and who we want to go. That's why we got stuck in many things, no?
Yeah, 100%. Actually, like asking questions to ourselves is first of all, it's like useful for like being, so like living the everyday life. But talking about the entrepreneurship, understanding where you are right now,
Yeah,
will elevate like the possibility to get where you want to go. So basically, if right now actually you just understand what you did in the previous 12 months, you say like you will actually understand what like who you did become also, because we change every day. Also because when we go like 100 kilometers per hour or even like faster, of course we like, it's kind of when you do entrepreneurship, you live 1 week in 1 day.
yeah,
So like this is why, and actually another study said that when you are in a successful entrepreneurship, you go 4x compared to an employee. If you have an enterprise and you fail, you anyways went 2.6x. So like these like employees ask themselves who they are. We are going faster. So of course we have like to ask ourselves where we are going and who we did become and who we want to actually become. So like I think this is really important also for the people that are close to us, because when we create a team and we change a lot of ideas and we don't communicate those ideas correctly, people won't understand the goals. And when people don't understand the goals, you will lose them. And maybe you have spent a lot of time to find the right people, choosing between processes and communication. And at the end, you lose that person that maybe you also invested in, educating them, paying that like high salary. So like I think if you want to go to be a good entrepreneur, this is one of the first thing that you have to start doing right now.
Yeah, you're right. And I think yeah, it's a balance. And the thing is, for what you said about communication, having a team, I got into this like challenge in a while to hire the right people, you know, because it's one thing to hire the good mentor, to attract the good customer, but it's another thing to attract the right person in your company. And I was asking a lot myself, why is this happening? Why it's so hard to hire the right person, but it's kind of easy to attract people like customers, mentors, and stuff like that. And I want to know your opinion about that. What do you think it's so hard to hire the right person in the company? Like, what do you think it could be the reason of that? And after I'm gonna give the like do.
I think
Yeah.
in the last month I kind of have faced a lot of troubles related to this because I
Okay.
trusted the wrong people.
Okay.
And of course our investments. I actually to find the right people, you have first to interview 37 people. This is kind of a study that says when you understand, when you talk with 37 people, you understand yourself what you are really looking for in terms of soft skill and hard skill. Actually, finding the right people, it's hard because I think that when we are like in as a first person involved in something, it matters of emotions. When it matters of emotions, I ask help because I know that like it's a hard choice to make. My decision making is kind of corrupted. because I think, should I be emotional? Should I follow my intuition? Should I be rational? What should I do? And this is like, this start to being confusional. So I actually, like for example, in a company, after that I choose the person, I send that person to the most rational people that actually interview for the last time that person, and tell to me, okay, yes, you're right, because sometimes I didn't trust my intuition and I was wrong. But of course, I like of course I couldn't trust it, right? Because it was a matter of, I have to scale. I don't have time. I have to choose it. And so, and actually choosing people, and even more for like important roles, actually for every roles, it's, you have to take time. You cannot like decide from one day to another, because like at the end, everything is people. So yeah, this is, I think that this is why it's really hard, because you are involved in your company, and also it's your responsibility to choose the person. So it's kind of two big bubble that are hitting against you, against your emotions. And I think that this is why also really important, let's say, the human resource role, because I don't know, like, do you choose yourself the people that you hire, or do you
Actually,
ask help to?
the thing is, what I remember is that what I really thought, like really remark, is that there are some people that are, you know, lived and made for recruiting people, and there are other people who are made to lead people. There are other people who are made to this, and depending on the talent of each one and who he is, but I think it's the right person to do this stuff. And I remember that the first person I hired in the company, it's actually funny because it was my assistant, which right now, a future, I will say, CEO of my company. I'm sure about that because she has really like intuitive part, but also pragmatic stuff. And when I hired her, it was funny because he lasted 2 hours only. This was funny, this story, because I was on Facebook because it's my main platform to communicate with person. And I put this intuition, this intention that I want to find this person. You know, I was really extremely specific, precise about, and clear about who I wanted to attract, like as a customer, because a member of your team is actually more or less, it's a customer. You need to attract the person, and the good person, normally they are already somewhere. So you need to really kind of sell yourself to the person as well. So I was really clear on what I wanted. And after, I remember this conversation, I asked her, I called her actually, I sent her a post and stuff, and I directly wanted to feel her. So I wanted to communicate, to call her, to see how is she doing, because you know, the people, they tell you something, and we know that most of the time it's not the right thing. So that's why, you know, I was like that. And so I call her, I ask her questions. It was not that easy, you know, because she has a behavior kind of strong, and me too. But at the end, we talked, we communicate as leaders, because, you know, I wanted leader because I needed a leader in my company. If I was the only leader, you know, it's a lot of things and weight on my shoulders. I want someone that can dive into this too. And we communicate and stuff, and this was so easy. And after, what I really remember, in the first week she got into the company, she implements and she thought about something to create in my company to make it better. And this was for me a sign that it would be the right person, because when you work as an entrepreneur and coach, you want someone that is entrepreneur as well. You don't want an employee or salary. You want someone that give the project, you give him a goal, and he figure it out. You know, he will find a solution. So I think this helped me a lot to hire this person. But actually, I didn't always good choices. You know, I made mistakes as well in selling. It was hard for me. Yeah.
Actually, it came in my mind when you were talking an idea about also how to manage and hiring people, which is actually passing from the selling side to the relationship, creating of a relationship. Because like interviews, from both sides, you're selling your company as an entrepreneur, and the person is selling itself. So let's say that for the first 3 calls, of course, there will be anyways barriers of trying to sell. but after, like, you have to be able to break those barriers and feel the people, understand the real person, and then you can make the decision. I think this is also like a thing that we have to be conscious about, because when it's talking about selling, you won't understand neither the entrepreneur, neither the company, and neither the actually potential colleagues, which can be.
Yeah, no, so I think that this is what like in your like you have different businesses, you have different projects. How do you use just like your energy, like more, let's say, yin energy, and how do you use your yang energy? Like, how do you manage these two stuff in your, and how this helps you to become the serial entrepreneur you are right now? So this is the question.
Wow. And actually, I figured out that I am not able to use my yang energy until I don't trust one person.
Oh, interesting.
So
Okay.
I just do call to actions. I'm just being more, let's say, pushy into telling something only when I trust people. Until that, I just work more in like kind of yin, being more attractive, being more kind of general, and these kind of stuffs. I don't know why this situation happens, but I saw it. I was like, okay, well, I was not able actually like to one person that actually was working with me since 6 months ago to tell her the truth. I was like being a little bit strong, right? And I was like, why? Like, why with the other people I'm like really strong sometimes? And why with her I was not able to? And I understood that at the end I was not like trusting her. And this was a limit for my young to come out. Because like, of course, like, let's say that the young, I think it's also more strong as also communication type. So you have to understand in a real way the person if you want to be strong, because either you risk to lose the person, or either you kind of make a perception of yourself which is wrong. And this is why I was like thinking I cannot use my young energy because I don't want to make a perception wrong of myself or what I'm saying. And actually, this is how I manage. I balance. I'm trying to be always like, let's say, lean with the people that I don't trust. But when I know that a person knows what we are doing, 100%, she or he will understand that we have to sometimes be strong with deadlines, with goals, milestones, to also be able to, let's say, enjoy the venture and the entrepreneurship journey. I think that you won't find the right balance, because everybody has like his periods. Yes. And everybody like has his thinking, his life, his personal thinking, etc. So I think that we have just to adapt and don't be like take time for everything. When anything happens and you whatever you cannot control, don't try to control it.
And why do you don't try to control something? This is funny because most of my audience, they want to control things, they feel secure.
Yeah.
So like, explain me this concept. I like it.
Wow. Okay, this is hard to explain actually. So thank you anyways. It's funny that a lot of new thinking are coming out, and also I'm learning a lot. Also because something that I'm saying right now, it's not a thing that I said before, so it's for me it's like improving and learning. Anyways, okay, if you try to control something that you cannot control, you will get stressed. Actually, stress come only when you act. When you don't act on things that you could have control over. And this is a Jeff Bezos actually quote, which is the CEO of Amazon.
Yeah.
But don't create stress for things that you cannot control, like deadlines, for example. Like if you right now, you don't have a precise plan, really well detailed, you cannot say, I will do 1 million in 1 month. So don't try to control everything to get that goal. It's a thing that you cannot control. Or like let's try to convert this prospect in a customer. Sometimes you have also to let it go. Let's not try to like pass over. Try to find another opportunity. Actually, I think that this is also a bias and an issue that every entrepreneurs face, because control is what like kind of it is always around us, and we sometimes we should just think that let it go, because if we have to have control over everything, and also maybe this will also cause to avoid to share the trust with people that you should trust, because you want to have control, and this is still stress sometimes also for it. Like if you want to really test a person, don't try to control over anything. Give it a period and see the results. Wait. This is I think the a common problem that I still face. I will face
Yeah, me too. You know, for me,
even if I know.
that's why I ask you the question, because for me, it's I think the most difficult part right now. It's like that's why, you know, for me it's so hard to delegate the selling, because I want to control. I'm making it, and you know, it's like I see like the chemistry. I see the thing that I hire someone after I feel like, oh, but he didn't sell this thing, and after a customer is coming to see me, and after I do it again. So I know this feeling of, you know, you want to control, but you want to let it go. You want the other person to do the stuff, but you're not so happy with what she does or he is doing. So after you you know, you go again, and after it's a never-ending story. So, and actually, the person or the people who helped me so much to really advance on this, and I'm still learning like you know, it's really difficult topic for me, is actually my customers. Because what I love about our job in coaching, in like helping people to scale their business, is that the people you are helping, most of the time, they have problems that sometimes you have, or there is like a mirror effect, you know? And what I like is when I help them, I grow myself, because I'm like, Camille, why you didn't tell yourself this? You are telling the other person this. Why don't you just apply to you? But since you are so much into your thing, you don't really see, you know, options. You don't really see the you know, like the solution. But if you are with the person that you're helping to scale, you see things that you don't see yourself for yourself, but you see them in the person. And the person reflects exactly sometimes what you need, you know, to understand. So it's really funny. We call it like quantic physics and stuff like that. It's like you really attract who you are, what point, which thing. Like, for example, we're talking about topics, but in many topics, we really kind of the same. We help each other in these topics, because I think universe is sending us messages through people, through situations. And if we don't we don't listen our intuition, we miss one big part of our life, of what we need to understand right now, what we need to listen right now.
Yeah.
Most of the time we don't really know which voice to listen. And so after we are listening you know, and after it's like, so yeah, so to come back on the topic, then it's I think it's kind of hard, the controlling part, but I think what helped me is like to see people having this problem and helping me to solve their problem. So then I solve mine.
And another let's say past that I think I faced is that until you are doing operative work, so let's say doing sales, of course you will do like it as the better as like your colleagues, because you know everything, and you are actually like, let's say, the venture overall. So you know the value, the vision, and also the hard skills to communicate. But that's why you should go from being operative to only delegating. Because when you only start delegating, you can really focus on educating. And this will kind of help you also to disconnect the two things. And let's say going only on the responsibility part, that your people, the people that you are working with, will understand who, like how you do your work. And this is also, I think, really good and genuine for them to learn from you.
Yeah, that's true. And why not? That's why I'm taking a mentor of this as well. That's because I think you want to delegate the selling stuff, you want to hire people, you need also to, to transform a bit what you are doing because you are changing of in the identity about business. So the people won't do the same as you are doing, and it's okay. The thing is, the job is done and the results are made. But um, what do you think? Because I see that the time is running. What kind of beliefs do you have that's helped you to become the entrepreneur you are right now and with the success you have? What
Wow.
are the three beliefs that are the most like help you so
Three
much?
beliefs.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all is kind of is confidence. So believe in yourself. This is the key of like being an entrepreneur. Also like if you want to delegate, like you have to believe in yourself before telling to other people to believe in your company and you. Second, I think is value, like having strong values, something that I want to communicate, something that I want to share with others. This is what lead me every day in waking up and saying, wow, this is going to be a bad Monday. But anyways, you have to do it because you have to like create change. So again, like confidence, value. And the third, I think is empathy. So which is related to communication. So trying always to understand who you have in front of or what you have in front of, study it until you can actually connect with that person, or even if it's just let's say an industry. How can you get into an industry if you don't understand all the processes? I think that empathy can work even in the processes thing, even if it's more mechanical. So this is what actually, let's say, distinguish me into try to make a real change and try to make it in a practical way, because a lot of people are not creating change. So facing this kind of people make me understand that I was doing it at the beginning. Maybe sometimes because of the imposter syndrome, you don't believe in yourself. I think everybody has it sometimes, which says you don't understand anything, you don't know anything. Sometimes this like voice is talking to me, right? And I think to you and all the people that do this kind of job. And facing people which actually are maybe successful entrepreneurs, but doesn't have value, make me feel and understand, wow, I have to do it actually for replacing those people. So yeah.
I really like this definition, and the confidence, like, do you think it's confidence or it's self-esteem? Because, sometimes we mix and change, self-esteem,
Yeah.
self-love, self-confidence. What do you think is like the most, is it really self-confidence or self-esteem? I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually like a really small change, but it's huge as well. I think it's self-esteem. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
right.
more like
Good
esteem.
question.
And it's funny because the thing is it's funny because for a long time I thought that not having enough self-esteem it's bad, but actually right now I think the contrary. It's funny because when I see the people like Elon Musk, like Bill Gates, all these people, if you really got into documentaries who they are and stuff, they think that it's never enough. They always have to do more. No. And I think this could be a driver as well. I think it's just a driver. It's a balance, because if you are extreme in self-esteem, like low self-esteem, this is bad because you cannot really do something. We feel that you are not feeling confident. But on the other hand, having too much self-esteem, yeah, young, we are trying about balancing, because if we are too much into self-esteem, then I hired a seller. This was funny last week, about last month. It didn't work out because this guy had too much self-esteem, and this was too much self-esteem. It was like ego, and we couldn't tell him something. It was like, I'm the best, I'm a best seller, I sell for any big companies, and then you see him, he's not selling in my company, and all the people that are beginners, they sell more, and they're okay, just calm down. So I think it's like I think it's a balanced stuff. And But I really
But-
like your definition of self-esteem.
Yeah, I think the same. Like whenever like you get too confident about yourself, and maybe you're going to maybe arrogant, which is also like a line that you, like people has to understand that at the end we are just human being, so it doesn't make sense to be arrogant. Then you will stop having results, and learn, because you think you know everything, but the world is changing like faster than you. So if you are the best today, tomorrow you are the worst. And actually related to this thing, I think is also don't create expectations about anything. When you started to create an expectations about yourself, or like the environment that you are like sharing your venture with, or your journeys, then you will also get into a lot of troubles about self-esteem. Because like a lot of self-esteem create high expectations, and then a lot of failures that you are not ready to take. And in the meanwhile, you have 1,000 of things that you should think about. You cannot low productivity, but it will happen. So this is, I think, also a point, expectations.
If you want to have like a public speaking, you know, communication with someone, like, you know, you have an audience, what will be the 3 main like, you know, like advices you will give to get, you know, this communication, this speech well, and also not being too self-esteem, or, you know, like YinYang, you know, advices you will give to someone who has difficulties to communicate? Because I have a lot in my audience who have like difficulties to communicate and to do public speaking. So what advices you would give them?
Yeah, first of all, you have to understand also your way to do public speaking. So for example, if I don't break the barriers at the beginning, I will get agitated. So my thing is, whenever I start, I have to say something kind of funny, because I want like to start connecting with people, and don't look at as I am like the teacher, which is I don't want to teach anything. This is kind of being communicate with you. So first thing is understanding your type of being a public speaker, because even being a teacher is not. So maybe you are follow your lead or your feelings. So first is this. Second is actually having a, let's say, funnel of understanding how to manage the communication between you and who you have in front of, like your audience, because having a chronological order about informations is also really important to don't get loose, and also to being sure that the people you're talking with understand what you're saying. So I would say that the second is preparation, and like kind of empathize again, but it's in everything. And the third one is always at the end make a summarize about what you said, because after 1 hour, people maybe don't listen to everything. Maybe sometimes they will get distracted. So if you just, let's say the 10 main keywords or topics that you share with them, that gets the value and will put something in the people in mind. Even like right now, we can do this. What we have, like what we did talk about, a lot of things, right? If we now say we talk about public speaking experience, we talk about yin and yang, we talk about this, people will remember what we did talk about. But if we wouldn't finish saying this, let's say, index of or keywords, people will forget, because people will always remember the first thing that you say and the last.
Interesting. That's funny. Okay, that's really, really nice, because it's yeah, I'm sure it like you can guys make comments about this video, like what you remember so far about a conversation, because we talk about different topics, of course. If you have a last, let's say, exercise to give to your audience, my audience, who is entrepreneurs, who want to maybe get, you know, like scale different businesses, since you have like different projects. Like, firstly, your advice about how you manage all these things, you know, at the same time. And secondly, if you have an exercise to give to entrepreneurs that could be useful for them, what would it be?
Wow. First of all, I have low battery. I have 3%.
Okay,
And,
so let's make it.
so yeah, I'm scared that my laptop will turn off in any moment. Anyways, let's say that the first thing is what I think leaded all of our conversation, which is who you are right now and where, like, understand where you want to go. So stop, take one day only to see behind you, write everything down, and try again to improve your vision and mission to get where you are. I think this is the first thing, and maybe don't do it with alone, but ask out to your colleagues or the people that you trust the most. Maybe Camille is one of those. And
Or
the
you?
second, maybe, and the second is, are the people you are surrounding with the right people that actually, let's say, boost your energies? Talking about colleagues, but also friends and relationships, because I think that affects everything in your life.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. Well, I will, since you told me the first words are the most important ones and the last ones, I will say as a last word, I mean, you can say also your words. What I will just put in a nutshell is just, you guys have today many options to think differently, to elevate your mindset, because we talked about communication, about who you are, about how you can use who you are in order to achieve new goals and in order to be different. Because at the end of the story, if you are different, if you elevate yourself, then you elevate your business. And this doesn't come itself. It's like you take actions because you understand something that you don't understand before, and this will make you new actions and so new results. What do you want to add? I don't know, last words, last punchline, I don't know what you want to add.
Improvise only when you are organized. No, joking. Like, things apart. Thanks, Camille, for having this conversation, because I really appreciate your time, and also I hope that the time of the people that will watch this video. And I think that even have this kind of conversation is useful. So if you have the chance, find a person that even if it's not as you, but you want to learn with, try to spend hours about talking and facing topics that are really related to expand your point of view. Because I mean, all the conversation with Camille are interesting, and we figure out to go in topics that we didn't expect. So it's funny. And yeah.
And at the end, we go exactly where we wanted, our needs wanted to go.
Yeah.
But our mental was like, no, let's go there. But at the end, this was the real path to go there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay, guys, have a nice, make a comment and stuff, you know, about what you learned, what your 3 main points you loved about this conversation. If you want another interview with Paolo and me, just let us know in the comments. And thank you, Paolo, for everything.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Okay.